Hey guys, so I am just about to get set up here. Hey Gabriel, what's today's live stream about? Well, today's live stream is about just a various factor of things. I mean, I got to go through my daily quests, but I usually just go ahead and like let you guys ask questions if you guys have them, and I try to answer as many as possible. I know someone wanted me to try to fight Seymour. I'm not sure how that will go, but it should be interesting. I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to pull it off, but I know that was requested, so I will hopefully be able to fight there. I know the system that I'm using to stream had an update, so hopefully everything runs smooth. I know, sometimes there's some glitchy stuff that goes on just because of internet connection, and sometimes, streaming can kind of mess with that as well. So that's kind of what we have going on today. I mean, obviously, if you have any matchups you want to watch in terms of, absolute battles, just let me know. Always happy to throw those up. Hey, the one, nice to have you with me. I know, I started a little late. Had a little update with Streamlabs, right? But it is what it is. So, one thing that I did want to point out was, of course, the fact that now that we're in October, right? Um, of course, we have the Halloween event coming up, which is very, very similar to that summer festival event that we had, which is understandable, right? So we were able to acquire, at least in years previous, we were able to acquire hero soul stones as well as various other items. So I'm sure that we will be able to acquire pet items as well. And we also have the Halloween cosplay contest. I just want to point this out because there's some really good rewards, and I think people should at least attempt to enter this contest. Um, so basically, I mean, you can read the rules for yourself, but look at these prizes, guys. So here we've prepared some stunning prizes, right? They have a first place, 100,000 emeralds, 10 million gold. All right. I mean, I guess if you're a new player, that's a lot. 3 skins of your choice. That's pretty nice. And a totem fragment of your choice. Totems are very difficult to get. So that is a very, very major deal there. Second place, right? You get 80,000 emeralds, 8 million gold, 3 skins of your choice, and a totem fragment as well. Third place, you get 50,000 emeralds, 5 million gold, 3 skins, and a totem fragment. So if you are in the top 3, you get a totem fragment, which, let's face it, that is worth a lot of emeralds in itself. Not only do you get a totem fragment, but you get a totem fragment of your choice. So that's a big deal. Fourth place, you get 40,000 emeralds. That's a lot of emeralds. And you get 1 skin. You get 3 million gold. Fifth place, you get 30,000 emeralds. Still a good amount of emeralds. And a skin as well as 1 million gold. So I just wanted to throw this out there. I mean, obviously they have entries going until October 31st. But I just wanted to reiterate this. Hey Chris, nice to have you with me. I mean, I just started, so you're in plenty of time here. No big deal at all. Nice to have you with us. Um, and I actually saw some interesting. Oh, okay. So this is answering different questions, but I did see some nice entries. I'm not sure if we'll be able to see them quickly here. So it's pretty interesting. I know I've seen a couple good entries. I can't point them out right away. I probably should have screenshotted them, but it is what it is. We're going to go back to the Hero Wars page. Sorry about that. And real quickly, I guess we're going to look at that trivia because I know they asked those trivia questions. I'm just going to go through those real quick. Hi, Abdul. Nice to have you with us. I know you wanted me to test the battle against Seymour. I will try that out a little later today. I'm a little skeptical just because my Jew is not very strong, but I'll give it a shot. Why not? Just for fun. Okay, so here's the true or false questions that they had on the Hero Wars page. In Guild Wars, you can only attack the Citadel after capturing the Gates of Nature. That's completely false. You can take down either Bastion as well, and that will allow you access to the Citadel, as most of you guys know. You can't buy Hero Soul Stones in the Elemental Tournament shop. This is also completely false. You have Kark and Nebula both available. From time to time, you can see a ship floating in the sky of the Titan Valley. I believe this is true. This is just off of my memory, so I don't know 100%, but that's kind of what we got in this true or false Celestial City. I just like doing those trivia questions occasionally because I know sometimes we get those quizzes that pop up. But that's kind of what we're looking at. I did need to make sure that I acquired these free spheres, so that's kind of why I was on this page initially. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this guy, and hopefully, of course not. Okay. Well, we're just going to hope that I got him, because if I didn't, then I will have to go back to that page later. But anyway, so daily quests, right? And I need to claim this energy, mail. So, okay, we did get the 5 Titan artifact spheres. And I'm glad you got the notification, Chris. I know sometimes, they're last minute, and I apologize. I don't know how to have it so that the settings don't, have it so last minute, but I know the streaming software is a little bit finicky in combination with YouTube. So, I try my best, but it doesn't always go perfectly. And another thing that I wanted to point out too is sometimes using tanks is good. I'm not sure if I still have the matchup on here. I don't. Okay, so I was ranked 20 at one point, but one of those matchups I had to use Astaroth and Cleaver, and I had a double tank. And the reason for that was there was a Yasmin on the opposing side, so I needed to protect my Kark and insulate Kark from basically getting knocked out because Yasmin can take out Kark pretty quick, but with that buffer of Astaroth taking, Yasmin taking out Kark will allow my Kark to basically come back and deal a ton of damage right away because he builds up energy. Okay, so I got 671 energy. Since I'm going to be needing Ju today, and he's still pretty weak. I mean, he's not even gold, so we're going to equip this item. We are going to... we only need a couple, so we're just going to do like 10 and hope that we got enough of those items. We are going to equip this as well to Ju. And, okay, World Tremor. What do I need here? I need some of these guys. All right, we might as well just go 100. All right, so we got enough of the Desert Blade. And we're going to make Shrine, but now we're short on the Minotaur's head. So we are going to use some emeralds to try to acquire it. It's probably going to be, 6. Oof. All right, so I guess we won't be able to complete that particular item and promote right this second, but, his skills are maxed out. Oh, Chris, it's 2 o'clock for you, man. Oh, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. If you need to go to bed, I completely understand. But I love the fact that you're here. It means a lot, and I love all your guys' support. I appreciate it. What is Rarity Fair? Okay, Rarity Fair pops up if you have, I don't remember the exact VIP, but Rarity Fair allows you to spend emeralds and automatically promote your hero. So this would take Martha from orange +3 to orange +4. And in this way, you can spend emeralds and basically purchase these items without having to farm them. And you'll promote your hero to orange +4. These 3 items have these particular stat effects. And so that's what happens there, Abdul. So I hope that clears up your question there. And so that is how that works. And, usually they just have various heroes that you don't have maxed out, right, in terms of items to promote. And so usually it's the most expensive ones that you still need. So they try to offer you the option to purchase them using emeralds. So I hope that explains that. And Congrats, Chris. Being in gold is awesome. It's definitely a plus. Doesn't matter if you're in 6th or in 1st. Honestly, only one team can be in 1st, and that means you're in the top 6 teams if you're in gold. Um, yeah, it's not a big deal, Abdul. I wouldn't worry about it. It honestly is just another technique that they use to have people spend. Okay, so Gary here said, "Do group gifts expire in your mailbox? Going to leave portals there to keep getting the daily portals?" No, for the most part, they do not. I apologize. I claimed everything here, but I can go to my other account in a little bit and just reiterate that things do not expire unless they say so right above. So any gift usually that involves portals, unless it says expires in like 30 days, you're completely fine to leave those in your mailbox. So you're completely good there. And then we have Gabriel asking, do you think it's worth it to use the Rarity Fair? All right, so Rarity Fair, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it's worth it. Um, but I do understand why it could be worth it. So yes and no. I'm gonna go ahead and be safe and say yes and no, but I don't think it's worth it because the number of emeralds needed gets pretty expensive pretty fast. And I mean, I guess if you're okay with spending, right, a lot of money to get the emeralds to promote, right, if you're willing to purchase this best offer multiple times, right, and even though it's not times 3 right now, and or if you're doing it during a times 4 sale, maybe it's worth promoting. But I would say, generally speaking, unless you're really willing to spend that kind of money, I would recommend staying away from promoting using Rarity Fair and just wait and use your energy that you acquire over time. I hope that answers your question, Gabriel. Um, but yeah, Abdul's completely right. If you want a faster promotion, Rarity Fair is an option. I don't necessarily think it's the way to go though, because especially pre orange, most of those things are pretty easy to obtain. I wouldn't worry about spending money on the Rarity Fair. Um, I wouldn't do it personally. So I didn't claim my daily Corvus Soulstone, so I got 10 there. Legacy of the Great One. So this is the event that we have going on, right? And I actually like this event. I just don't have deep enough pockets to really invest fully in this event, but I love getting artifact chests. Um, these things are invaluable, and I love powering up my heroes. There's just so many heroes that I still have to power up to ultimately beat Seymour. In my opinion, I'm not quite there yet, but I can try. I can try, and hopefully the game will load. I know Seymour's battle has a lot of memory, so sometimes it doesn't really come up very clear. We're going to go ahead and open some Titan Artifact Spheres right now. Yep, absolutely. Always happy to answer questions. So if you always have questions, feel free to just toss them in chat. I'll try to get through all of them best I can. I know there's been questions too about beating the 3 lords. I actually have not defeated all 3 of them just yet. But I will work on that. I do think that to beat the lords, you need all 18 totem fragments. So I'm a little bit far off from that, but I will work on that for you guys so I can post it for you and kind of walk you guys through it. Because I know I think there's one video up on it for my buddy One Punch Man, but I also, he doesn't really explain how he went about it. So I think, going into it a little bit more deeply would be helpful. And I forgot what I was doing there, but I am going to level up some of these skills for Daredevil. Daredevil, actually, guys, is not a terrible hero after the rework. Deals a lot of damage. So I'm kind of a fan. I was considering, I know I'm saving this particular item, throwing knives, for Sebastian. Because I think he needed it for this trident, I want to say. Nope, not the trident. Not that either, obviously. Come on now. Must be Creator's Wing then. So that's what I was saving it for. Grand Arena Shop. Don't have enough Grand Arena coins. Of course not. But that's okay. We will get there. Complete 3 heroic missions. I guess I'll just have to wait until I get 60 more energy, no big deal. EXP potions. I like doing these slowly. I really like Qing Mao, guys. Qing Mao, if you have not checked Qing Mao out, definitely someone to check out. Some of these skills are ridiculous. I didn't look that carefully at Qing Mao before, but Qing Mao, guys, don't sleep on Qing Mao. Let me find her. Here we go. So the skill that I think is deadly. Let's see it. Okay, yeah. So blinds the enemy, deals damage. This is one that I think is pretty crazy. Deals damage to the nearest enemy based on their current health. So 10% of health right off the bat. That's a lot of damage. I mean, that's 1/10 of damage right away. That's pretty significant. And then you consider, someone's a dragon spirit that hits the three nearest enemies. 10%. That's a lot of damage. And then you have, Qing Mao basically reducing the enemy's armor all day. Watch out. Qing Mao is someone not to be trifled with. I definitely don't think you guys should sleep on her. If you have her available or are able to basically use her on a second team, I kind of highly recommend. I would I would use her if I could. Right now, she's not usable for me yet because she's a little bit low on the totem pole of things I need to do. But just a shout out to Qing Mao. All right, so I need to claim some Outland chests for the event. Yeah, Dragon Claw is really good. Dragon Claw is really good. Someone was telling me the other day that Mojo is good, and I agree that Mojo is very good in specific situations. But I do think that Mojo just gets outclassed a little bit. Oh, Gabriel saying it becomes at like 23% at level 130. That is ridiculous. Just thinking about it, 23%, that's almost a quarter of health from one attack. So, guys, if you haven't checked out Qing Mao, I recommend. I know some of you guys have, but I'm just throwing that out there. Obviously, there's a lot to invest in, but that's one thing I'm just going to throw out there. Not a bad hero at all. Not a bad hero at all. So we are going to auto clear this tower here real quick. And the other thing is, okay, with Halloween coming up, I'm almost positive, right? I've been saying this for a while, and I know people have been like, oh no, Jay, they're not going to introduce any new undead heroes. But last Halloween, I'm pretty sure they dropped, or right around there, they dropped Anvari. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I remember Anvari being a hero that got dropped during like right around Halloween. And Anvari is my favorite hero, so I'm a big fan. I do think they're gonna drop 2 undead heroes during Halloween. I mean, just think about it. It's Halloween, right? I mean, it would match up so perfectly. I mean, obviously, I think they will also introduce some skins. But I also think, they have 3 undead heroes now, right? So Corvus, Morgan, and Phobos. And those 3 alone, all right, so what? There's some synergy between 3 heroes, but you really need 5 for a good team. So it just makes sense that they're going to introduce one good attacker and a good, I guess it could be a support. Because I guess you could argue that Morgan is a healer. But it would be crazy of them not to. I just think it's so... Yeah, thanks, Chris. I'm glad someone supports that because I 100% think it's crazy for them not to. Like, they have such a good opportunity in Halloween, right? To basically introduce 2 undead heroes. It just goes with, the spirit of Halloween and just everything, quote, quote, spooky. Just makes sense. If I were them, I would do it. I know they said they're coming out. Oh, if they make Yasmin an undead hero, that would be crazy. I would need to get an absolute Yasmin. I did not go super hard on Yasmin. I think I got like 5 stars. But Yeah, if Yasmin became undead, I would need to seriously reconsider structuring my team completely. That would mess up my team, if I'm being honest. Okay. So we are okay. Yep. So I did end up ranking 65. Not terrible, not great. Could always be better, but I mean, considering that I have a Kark team, not bad. I definitely would love to use Lars and Krista more specifically. Yeah, Chris, she is lovely, but I also don't love her because she can wreck my team occasionally, and it's not fun. All right, let's see. Okay. Trying to determine what items I actually do need, but I guess I can come back to that a little later. Airship, one of my favorite places to go because I love collecting these artifact items. She's taking out teams that are 100k stronger. That is, see, that in my opinion makes Yasmin OP. I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, Yasmin's not as strong as she once was," but I was like, Yasmin is so strong on her own that it's crazy. Um, uh, well, I mean, it's all fun and games. So I definitely enjoy where I'm at right now with Reapers. I mean, he was definitely the reason that I stuck around in the game so much. So I appreciate the invite. I definitely will consider it. But yeah, I mean, right now I'm pretty happy with where we're at. I know we're still rebuilding, and a lot of our stronger players are in different gold league guilds, but it's all right. A Yasmin skin. I think it's still a little early for a Yasmin skin. I I do understand where you're coming from though. But yeah, see, I have a 5-star Yasmin. If Yasmin became undead, I would need to heavily invest. And here I have Ju, who's kind of crying because he's so weak. So we're gonna go ahead and strengthen Ju a little bit because I've been sleeping on him. I'll be honest. Um, we'll just go ahead and power him up a little bit. Guess we can make these like 3-star. I know I'm working on Lars, so this kind of slows that process. But if I if I want to basically try to progress in campaign, which is Seymour only, I need to focus on Jew. Hey Melissa, nice to have you with us. Thanks for shouting out. Always appreciate that. Oh yeah, 100%, Chris. I do agree that a lot of people would riot and be very upset if Yasmin became undead. I just don't think that would be fair. Right, Gabriel? Yeah, I agree. I think it would be unfair to basically allow Yasmin to get a skin at this point. It's just too soon. I mean, Kark just got his second skin, and he's been around for a while. So, I mean, and Vari still, I think, only has one skin. And I mean, I guess he has a winter skin. So maybe in winter, Yasmin might get a skin, and Corvus and Morgan, I think, will get one potentially as soon as Halloween. But I don't think so. I think it's still too early for them to get anything like that. Um, so getting text. All right. Let's take a look. So I think we finished most things that I was planning on finishing. I guess I can spend a couple of emeralds. Um, acquiring soulstones. I kind of thought I was gonna have more on this account, but I guess I don't. That's fine. I mean, it's not a big deal. I went pretty hard during the Water Titan event that we had just I think last week. Unfortunately, I had midterms, so I could not be here with you guys, which was pretty sad. I'm not gonna lie. I was not loving that, but hey, sometimes you got to study for a con law midterm, and it is what it is, right? Constitutional law. So it is what it is. But it's nice to be here now. Oh man, we got Peter here cracking some jokes, seeing how little clothes Yasmin has. She needs a skin for winter. Oh, I love it. I love it. That's amazing. Um, how did the midterms go? Thanks for asking, Melissa. They actually went well. I actually thought I did pretty well. Felt pretty confident. I still have one more midterm coming up on financial accounting, but for financial accounting for lawyers, attorneys, right? However you want to phrase it. But you know, the professor has been pretty busy, so we haven't had that one yet. So not too mad about that. But the constitutional law one, crushed it. Ended up getting, the top scores you could get. So I'm pretty happy with it. Everything's curved in law school, so it's pretty rough because only 10% of students I think can actually get an A, right? And that includes an A minus. So grading's tough. I'm always happy when, things turn out well. So thank you for asking, Melissa. I appreciate that. But okay, so here we are with Titans. I think I just leveled up Nova a little bit here. As you can see, I'm making good progress on my Titans. I just have to finish off Avalon in terms of level 120, right? And Silva for my main team. Obviously, I have Hyperion that I want to work on after that. And then Sigurd and Moloch, of course, and Ignis and Nova. And the last two that I need to work on are Vulcan and Mary. And here you can see level-wise, I finished Moloch actually last week. Still have to do Ignis, Nova, Vulcan, and Mary. So we are making good headway. And yeah, Titan artifacts. I need more Titan artifacts. That is for sure. Those are key. I mean, it makes such a big difference, and it's crazy because 5-star to 6-star, it doesn't double your strength, but it feels like it doubles your strength. Um, so, question: what is my top team build? Well, I've said this a couple of times. I know it's not super popular for everyone because I mean, you have to basically have certain heroes. So, the one that I like, and this is my favorite team, if I'm being honest. So, Aurora, the Twins, um and let's find. Where's Celeste? Celeste, where are you? Oh, there's Celeste. Celeste, and then I like having Sebastian. If I can find him. So this is a team that I actually am trying to currently build on my second account, right? So I have two accounts. I have this account and I have one on server 51, which I'll switch over in a second, but this is essentially the team that I would try to build. I would focus first on Lars, then Krista, then probably either Aurora or Celeste, and then Sebastian last because, well, Sebastian's important for protecting your team against Jorgen. But this is a really good team. I really like this team with Kane. And yeah, so this is my favorite. This is my favorite, I guess, team, if you will. I really like Kane with Aurora. The dodge just piles up really fast. I've seen some really good combinations with Yasmin as well. I would consider it. And then, the reason I like this build is it's so adaptable. I mean, if you're facing someone who has a cleaver, right, all you need to do is take out Celeste and put in Martha. Or you put in Dorian, right? I think Dorian's an even better move. Where is Dorian? So, I mean, it's just such a versatile team that, you don't get hit too much with Aurora's dodge covering the entire team. You also have Kane who's firing off physical attacks. So if you're facing a team that has Rufus, your pet, right, Kane can essentially knock out Rufus, and you don't even need to worry about having a physical damage dealer on your team because, your pet Kane will deal the physical damage, and you don't even need to worry about it. Okay, sorry, I'm getting some questions here. What are my thoughts on Oliver versus Axel? I like both. I think Axel is a little bit stronger than Oliver. I think Oliver is good for all purpose, for healing, especially your tanks. But I like Axel because Axel counters some heroes that are focusing on a single hero or single target. So we're talking Yasmin, Ju. I mean, I guess Ju has a bunch of other counters as well, but Yasmin and Ju, basically, you can spread the damage out using Axel, whereas Oliver will only heal your tank. And with Yasmin attacking, right? Yasmin usually attacks backline heroes before they get to the frontline heroes. So I think Axel's very good in terms of countering Yasmin. If you don't have Helios straight up and you don't have, the twins readily available, I think Axel is one potential mitigation technique to slow down Yasmin's ability to basically knock out your major damage dealer in your team. So I hope that answers your question, Gabriel. I basically like Oliver for heroes that attack straight on, right? So if they go in order, as opposed to like heroes like Yasmin who attack out of order and attack backline, then I like Axel. And it's the same story for basically if you're up against a Jorgen team, but you don't have Sebastian available, Axel might be the best move so that your backline heroes don't get knocked off right away. I hope that answers your question. So Peter here is saying, okay, why Sebastian? Because main purpose of Sebastian is critical increase and removal of debuffs. Wouldn't Celeste purification be enough for the latter? Especially if you would use Galahad, who jumps ahead and concentrate Jorgen's skill on him. Okay, so there's a couple of things that are interesting with Jorgen. So Jorgen has here. I'm gonna hop into my Jorgen. I like Jorgen a lot. Jorgen was before Sebastian came into play. Jorgen was the best hero in the game, hands down. Just like if you saw Jorgen, you couldn't win unless your Jorgen was the same or stronger. And here's why. So the key skill here is, I think it is, no, no. Yeah, here we go. It's Leper. Leper is the key skill when you're looking at Jorgen. So Jorgen curses everyone on the enemy team, making the furthest enemy. So this is the last enemy or the backline hero as the target. So basically, all the damage that's going to the frontline heroes is being diverted to the back hero. So basically, Martha's getting hit with damage. Um, and so even though, yes, energy will be stolen from some of the frontline heroes like Galahad if you have Galahad up there, Leper will redirect the damage being done by the opposing heroes to the back line. Here, I can actually probably show you a matchup where that might even happen. So let me try and give an example. I haven't done this in advance, so I may mess up, but let's say you were saying Galahad, right? Well, here, let's make a defensive team. So we have, who would we have? We need to have Jorgen on the opposing team. So Jorgen, I'm going to put, we'll put Martha. Daredevil will be the main attacker. We'll use Maya and, I don't know, we'll just throw an Astaroth, I guess. So this will be the defending team. So defending team, then you would use Galahad that you said, right? So Galahad. If I can find him, there's Galahad. Galahad. I don't know. Who else would you use with Galahad? I guess we could. Any suggestions that you want to use with Galahad? If not, I can just make up a team. It's not a big deal. I guess. So, let's Twins. Okay, you want to use the twins with Galahad? I mean, I feel like the twins are kind of OP on their own, but yeah, okay, we can throw in twins. So you got twins, and then I would probably. Do you have two more heroes that you want to use, Peter? If not, I can just throw someone in. It's not a huge deal. I'm gonna go ahead and put in like Dorian and Nebula and Celeste. Okay, we'll put in Nebula and Celeste, no problem. Nebula and Celeste. And I am going to go ahead and, I mean, Celeste is good for purifying, but I do have a little bit of a concern that it won't reach the back hero here, which is Lars. I'm going to speed it up a little bit here. And I would expect, so once Jorgen's skill goes off, you can see Lars taking damage and Lars getting taken out. And that's a huge problem. And I'll tell you why. So the huge problem here is that Lars is your offensive weapon. So if Lars gets taken out with a Twins team, you're in trouble. So that's kind of what happened there. So if we look, of course, it ends up glitching up a little bit here. I'm gonna try refreshing my page real. Oh no, okay. So here, if we look at info, so how long have I been playing the game? In terms of actual time, I think it's been almost 2 years. I've been in Reaper's Guild for almost a year now. It's actually the first guild that I've actually started seriously playing in. I started on an earlier server, but I never really got into the game. So I've been playing for a while, but when I first started playing, I think I did research on the game, right? I was playing the game probably 18 hours a day. It was summer break. So to be fair, Melissa, I wasn't like ignoring work or any other duties, but it was summer vacation and I found this game. I thought it was going to be a puzzle game. And I read up on every single hero. I read up every single statistic. I read up every skill. I tried to figure out every aspect of the game because I wanted to not worry about having to focus on too many heroes and too much for Titans. So I wanted to know all the information so I could try to know who I wanted to focus on. And I talked to players who had played since the very beginning. I got in contact with some of them on server 1, server 2, server 3. So I talked with them and consult with them. And they were a huge wealth of knowledge. Um, yeah, and I mean, obviously, Hero War Central has his channel. I've been in contact with him. He's a great guy. But I do think the biggest thing for me was just taking the time and learning as much as I could in game, and then doing as many test battles as possible. So for me, that's kind of been the biggest thing. So, okay, we saw what happened here, Peter, right? What happens, right, if we take out Celeste and we put in Sebastian? And here's what makes Sebastian so great. Sebastian covers your entire team. So you know how Astaroth, very similar to, well, you know how Astaroth has those spheres that covers all the heroes on the team? You can think of Sebastian's effect basically doing the same thing, minus the actual showing of the sphere. It doesn't show it, but that's what it's basically doing. So it's a lot more protective than Celeste's two purifying shield areas, right? So it guarantees your safety as opposed to you taking a gamble when it comes to Jorgen. Jorgen's too dangerous of a hero to take a gamble like that. So I'm going to put the exact same team in minus Celeste and put in Sebastian. And let's see what happens. So if my game decides to not be so slow, I'm going to have to refresh my page. I don't know if it's probably the Wi-Fi in conjunction. I've never had this problem when I'm just playing by myself, but whenever I'm using the streaming software, sometimes there's a little bit of I guess it takes up a lot more download speed than it's accustomed to. So it is what it is. I'm not in control of the modem. If I was, I would reset it, but I'm not in control of it. It's for the entire housing community that I'm at right now, because I live on campus. So it is what it is, and same here. Yeah, I love that everyone's here for the puzzles, and they do a good job of making those puzzles initially and sucking you in. And it's kind of sad that they don't use those puzzles as much as they do in the advertising. I really like the puzzles. They're fun, definitely fun. And I'm sure almost every one of you guys have done the chapter 9 hidden quest, right, with the lighthouse. But if you haven't, I do have a video on that. So let me know if you haven't done that. But basically, it's really good for people who just start out because you get some gold and you get some item chests. I think I don't know the exact name of it off the top of my head, but it's pretty cool. I like it. Yeah, no problem, Peter. But here, let me finish off what I was saying before. Um, Basically, now that my internet's running a little bit better, classic. Got to restart it. So we got the twins here. We got Galahad. We have um, Nebula and Sebastian, I believe, right? So Nebula also has a purifying effect, but Sebastian just really seems to completely neuter Jorgen's ability to basically drain energy and attack that backline hero. And now I can't find Sebastian. Sebastian! Oh, there he is. There he is. Yeah. So, yep, you're exactly right, Peter. That's exactly right. So here we should hypothetically see a better result. I think this team should be able to win. I mean, obviously Daredevil deals mad damage, but with Sebastian, oh, what happened there? So we did win. um, but yeah, so the biggest thing here is, I mean, Daredevil's a good attacker, as we mentioned before, but Sebastian basically really is the MVP of this matchup, even though it doesn't show up in the statistics. Just because, I mean, they don't have a statistic for blocking energy or anything like that. They just do damage dealt, which is pretty straightforward, damage taken, right? And here you can see Galahad, right, sucking up a lot of the energy, but he's a tank. What can I say? Healing, right? You have Galahad using vampirism as well as Nebula healing, Nebula and Galahad, and Martha, right? Even with this insane amount of healing, could not keep up because Lars and Krista deal mad damage, as I've said before. And here we actually have Krista out damage dealing Lars because Lars I think got knocked out, but Chris is a good character as well, just better with Lars. So yeah, hopefully that helps out there. I know a lot of people sleep on Jorgen, and every time I see an opponent who doesn't have Sebastian on their team, I'm almost guaranteed to be using Jorgen. Yeah, I'm glad my tier list helped you out, Melissa. I know a lot of people love them, and a lot of people, have strong opinions in the opposite direction as well. But I'm super glad that it did help you out. And Helios, great hero, excellent counter to any critical hit attacker, right? So we're talking Jew, we're talking Yasmin, anyone who does critical damage. So I mean, even Kira to a certain extent. I mean, honestly, most damage dealers have a critical hit ability, so Helios is a good hero to have, and I think more so on Facebook than mobile as well. But I think Helios is a great hero, and I'm glad that my tier list helped you out. And Yasmin is very dangerous on those newer servers, just because people were able to spend and able to acquire her so quickly. So, okay. So let me make sure I am Jet. Yeah, yep, you're exactly right, Peter. I did forget about Jet. You're completely right. Um, but yeah, Jet as well. And honestly, like Sebastian too, to a certain extent, because Sebastian adds crit to most of the heroes on the team. So yeah, Helios is a very, very good hero, especially right now, living the life. Okay, so what did I need to do daily quest wise? Upgrade a hero skin. Okay, so we're gonna do that. And I'm in love with my Kark. I thought I was done, but then they introduced this new skin, right? Uh, so I needed to basically get it, and now I am slowly leveling it up. Magic defense. I mean, it's good against twins. Um, I don't know. I think there could have been some more useful skins, but magic defense, I'll take it. It is what it is. So that basically concludes that. I think since I have 1,000, I can actually go ahead and open 2 of the Altar of Elements. I'm gonna need to spend the emeralds eventually anyway. So even if I get a few, few less of these, I'm basically losing what? I'm losing 10 openings by spending them 500 at a time. But ultimately, the way the game calculates this is it's based off of emeralds spent on this altar. So, it doesn't really care about how effective I am at pulling the most, um, you know, items or artifacts. So I'm not super concerned. I mean, obviously, yes, if I had 4,500, I would use the 4,500 button. But when you don't and you just start, it helps you in terms of acquiring more items. I'm all about using the 500, especially if you have 120 emeralds to spare. 120 is the minimum that I want to have because 50 right times 2 in terms of buying energy daily, plus the 20 emeralds to basically spin your emerald exchange one time. So 120 is my key number. I never really want to be below 120 because that would mean I need to rank 100 or less, right? So I'm under rank 100 here. So I can acquire 120 emeralds at least to replenish and basically continue on in, increasing the strength of my account. So just by that, I acquired 1,000 of these artifact coins. So that is solid. Let's see. So when Sebastian is on mage team, Helios doesn't counter, but when he supports physical heroes on enemy team, Helios will be super effective. Absolutely correct, Peter. You're 100% right. Um, Gabriel, no wonder I've been having trouble with twins versus the new Kark teams. Did they also patch anything else about him? Yes and no. So the new skin definitely helps Kark survive, and I actually have sometimes double tanked, especially if I see a twins team. I've used Cleaver with, and additionally, sometimes Kark will revive with max energy because he just got taken out, and basically he will be able to just take out Lars right off the bat, which is amazing and gives me a real good chance at beating a twins team. But yeah, so that's exactly why you're having some trouble in terms of taking down cart teams a little bit more because of the new skin. What server do I play on? So, hey Martin, nice to have you with us. But I play on, my main account now is on server 35, and my secondary account that I play on is on 51. And I'm gonna pop over to 51 in a little bit. I just need to check. Yeah, see, I have been slacking on my adventure. Sometimes I start an adventure because I just need to get the quest, and then I'm the only one who basically did anything, right? Like I just joined just because I wanted that free egg, and then I come back to the adventure, and it's just me. They're waiting on me, so I feel bad. Okay, so with this, I'm going to use Jorgen, and I am going to just auto server 38. Always good to have you here. I mean, Chris, I'm a huge fan of server 38. They've got some of my favorite people on there, including yourself. I'm going to skip this battle. Um, and Martin started in June on server 54. All right. Congrats and welcome to the game. I hope you weren't hoping like I was that it was going to be a completely a puzzle-based event, puzzle-based game. If you have not, Martin, already done the Lighthouse quest, I highly recommend. Let me see if I can find it for you, actually. Give me like 2 seconds here, and I will post it for you just to make sure that you guys have it. Assuming that I can, let's see. And in the meantime, I will be speeding through this adventure. Here we go. Okay, so Martin, if you haven't already, check out that YouTube video later when you have a chance. There is and server 55. Wow. So Melissa's pretty new too. If you haven't checked out that video yet, guys, I recommend. I know it has two of the early puzzle games, but there's also a hidden one. If you haven't already done that, I recommend you check it out. Okay, why did my game just okay? Sometimes it freezes up, but yeah, nice to have you guys with us. I can't believe, you know, server 38's been around for a while as well. When do I think the Halloween event for Facebook begins? Will it be simultaneous with the mobile version on October 27th? Let me check the calendar here. So, if I'm just checking a general calendar, oh, there it is. If I'm just checking a general calendar, I'm going to assume that we start the Halloween event on the 29th. I think it will start on October 29th because typically events start on Friday, right? So, you know, calculating in the time zone differences, for me, that's going to be the 29th at night at like 10 p.m. So I think we will have the event start on the 29th. So that is not next week, not the following week, but the week after that. And I think for Facebook, that's when we will have the Halloween event start. So that's what I think. So it will not be the same time the mobile version starts. I think mobile will start before. I guess it's possible, Chris, that we start on the 25th. But I mean, well, it could be. You know what? I could be completely wrong. It could be a 7-day event. But I mean, I think it will be a 7-day event. Or I'm trying to think. I still think they'll stick with the normal schedule. I think they'll start on Thursday. For me, at least. So that will be Friday if you are not in the U.S. Because you guys start earlier. But if you're in the U.S., I think it will be the 30. You know, I think it'll be closer to that Thursday date. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm pretty stoked. I can't wait. It's just over. I think it's almost 3 weeks away. A little less than that. So it should be an exciting event. I'm looking forward to it. Definitely. All right. So what was I? Oh, I was doing the adventure. I can't leave my guys hanging in the adventure since I basically need to finish. I need to finish this up. And we accidentally hit the tower, of course. Okay, so I'm going to finish off this adventure real quick. If you guys didn't already know, if you know you're going to win a matchup, you can, right? So as soon as the matchup starts here, so I'm going to attack. I'm not going to use Jorgen since they're using Jorgen. I'm going to use Sebastian, and we're going to battle. And since I know I'm going to win this matchup, I can actually just auto it basically, but without having to wait the 2 minutes for the match to finish. I can simply, as soon as it starts, I can pause and skip the battle. That's only because I know I'm going to win. If I didn't know, I would let the match play out. But, that's one cool thing. If you know that your team can win, you don't have to worry about waiting for the whole match to end. So that's something that I think is pretty cool if you didn't already know. No Jorgen on the opposing side. I'm going to use Jorgen. But that's kind of how I operate on this. I am working on getting the twins stronger because I really love the twins. And then after I'm done with the twins, I'm not sure if I'm going to work on Aurora or June next, but that's the plan right now. And I know that there was want of me testing out going up against Seymour. I'm sure that my game's going to freeze. So I mean, we can try, but I I don't think I don't think I'm gonna win. B, I think it's gonna freeze on me. So we'll see what happens. I know I've gotten some suggestions on teams to use. I'll try it out. Some of these heroes for me are not super strong just yet, but we'll test it out, see how it goes. And what do I think about rating adventures? Is it a preparation for more portal charges? Probably some money option. Currently, it feels like it is not really a pro community build. Yep. Yeah, okay, that's a great point, Peter. I completely understand where you're coming from, and I kind of agree with this. Is if what's the point of this raid function that we have? I mean, not in this context. And I'll go to it in a second. As soon as I'm done with this adventure, I will get to your point, Peter. Um, Basically, as you guys know, right, in adventures, after you do an adventure, if you acquire all 4 chests, you have the option to raid. And what is the point of raiding, right? Basically, the question is, what's the point of raiding if, um, or what's the point of doing a regular, adventure with your guildmates if you can simply raid? And I think it's a great point, but you actually don't get credit for doing the quest of joining an adventure if you simply raid. So you don't get that one free egg, which isn't a big deal right now because you only get one pet soulstone, or maybe it is a big deal. But basically, that is the difference that we're talking about in terms of whether you can raid or not. It doesn't count in terms of you joining or starting an adventure. So I will show you that quest in a second here. But basically, if you raid, you lose out on the ability to get that free egg that you otherwise would have gotten. But on the other side, if you don't have the time, it may be a good idea to just simply raid. But again, you can't raid unless you already completed one adventure that day. So it makes it difficult to raid, in my opinion, unless you have extra, what do you call it? Extra portals on hand. So, okay, let me finish this matchup and I will be more clear. Okay, so Melissa has a great question here, and I will answer it in a second, but I need to put in Anvari because Anvari is phenomenal against Orion. Okay, so with the Halloween event coming up, what should you focus on storing? I think energy is a no-brainer, but it's hard to always store up energy. Um, oh, well, that went better than I expected. But basically, I would say energy and soul stones. So how can you save soul stones? Okay. Sorry, let me finish this. And I'll get back to how you can save soul stones in a moment. But okay. So we're going to end this adventure. We claimed all 4 chests. And now we still have 1 portal. And we have the ability to instant clear. So not those 2, but we have the ability to instant clear since I've 4 chested this one. I've only 3 chested, I think, these guys. So basically, I don't qualify yet to instant clear. But if you get something that's, if you clear a pet adventure and you acquire all 4 chests, you have the ability to raid. If I raid this, I don't believe I will be able to acquire. You see the start or join one adventure here, Peter? This will not be. You won't be able to claim it, I don't believe, if you select the raid button. Since I know I'll get another portal later tonight, I'll go ahead and do it right now. But basically, I think we won't be able to claim the start or join one adventure because we're doing the raid option. So let's take a look, and I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. So If we go to the sanctuary here, and we go to level 120, and I simply raid, right? And we got a bunch of chaos particles, which is nice, and some pet summoning eggs. Okay. So now that I did that, right? Oh, I'm wrong. Completely wrong. Ignore that. Start or join one adventure does work. It didn't work before, so this is an update. This is an update. But the key thing though is you can't have the option to raid unless it's your second adventure of the day. So you need to have already done an adventure and completed it that day for you to be able to have the raid option. So it's annoying. That's just the way that they've set up the function. So I hope that basically the raid option is great, Peter, but you won't be able to use it unless you've already basically done an adventure. So that's the one caveat or one key thing to note. But that's a great point. If you don't need to play with your friends to raid, hey, I would say raid if you can get all the same items without having the hassle of waiting for your teammates. That's just the honest truth of that. And then going back to Melissa's point, what should we be storing for the Halloween event / Christmas event? So I do have a couple videos on Halloween or on Christmas. I'm sorry, but it's hard to explain. I do think I actually have a Winterfest playlist, um, which I'm gonna defer you to that in a second. But for Halloween, how to save up? Um, Basically, I would save up these arena coins. I would save up grand arena coins, tower coins, um, you know, soul coins. I would save up as many types of coins as you could, because I think you're gonna need a lot of um, hero soul stones. And once you get down to your day 28, save whether you get one lesser hero soul stone chest or two. Save it for the event, but I think it might even overlap. Let's see, 3 more weeks. 1, 2. Basically, if the event is going on, then you can use these lesser hero soul stone chests. I'm not going to calculate it out. You know what? That actually will. Yeah, so this might fall right around Halloween, right? Where's my calendar? Yeah, so okay. So it might happen a couple of days before the event actually starts, but basically just hold on to this. It'll help. It's almost an automatic 50 or 100 hero soul stones either way, so I would definitely say save those. Um, and I would recommend doing that. The other thing that I would say is if you don't have Kark and Nebula maxed out and you are able to basically acquire these certificates, this is another option that you have to basically, just save them up and then basically purchase either Kark or Nebula. And that could be another way that you go about saving, for the Halloween event. Because I think one of the biggest things is, saving up and basically acquiring Hero Soul Stones. So that's one way you can go about it. Energy, you'd have to basically wait for a while. That's just one thing to point out. So Martin said here, the guild dungeon up to what level it reaches. Yeah, actually, Dominion Hero Wars mobile here is correct. The guild dungeon is infinite. It doesn't end. Um, it just doesn't. I mean, the power strength of the opposing titans does end up plateauing. And so here I am at 13,370. 15,000, you finally get the what do you call it? The frame, right? So here, the chaos. No, not the chaos frame. Let's see. Oh, the Primeval Depths frame. So if you do 15,000 in the dungeon, you finally get this frame. Here you can see I'm slacking in arena. Never ranked #1 yet, or ended in #1. Outland Conquer frame. I've been slacking there as well. Level 160 is the max. Okay, that's not very difficult. But yeah, basically it doesn't go. It goes on. So after that, you basically don't. Okay, talking a little fast, but basically what will happen is you'll be able to acquire, summoning spheres, but once you hit 15,000, my understanding is there won't be a bonus anymore after that, but essentially it does not end. Um, and hey, Dominion, Hero Wars Mobile, I'm glad you have the same headphones as I do. Some great taste, right? Great minds think alike. So hats off to you there. Okay. Melissa, for saving up energy, you could also save the 500 energy points we get once a week for the event. That's 100% true. Yes, you could 100% do that, but it also depends on what event you have. So I personally will probably end up saving the 500 energy, like you're suggesting. Starting now, I probably will, just so that I have that extra boost when I get to the event. Save emeralds, always a good call to save emeralds. But yeah, that's a great point, Melissa. I highly recommend you save those energies. um, do you get the frame for mobile too? So my understanding is, well, let me check here. Let me check my mobile real quick. And I apologize. I don't have an ability to show you guys exactly what I'm looking at. I mean, I guess I could screen record, but I'd have to eventually transfer it over. I'll just check real quickly, but I don't think there is a frame for that. Avatar frames. Because my understanding is most of the frames that they have here are for purchases. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. So, I mean, I don't think it's there. Um, do you get the frame? So, sadly, Michael, you do not get the frame for mobile. I apologize for that. It's just unfortunate, but it is how it is. I am almost at 15,000. It's slow going, but I will get there eventually, and I promise I'll show you guys when it happens. And yeah, Melissa, you're good. If you claim those, there will not be an expiration date on those 500 energies. You can easily save those for the Halloween event, and I actually think that's a smart plan. Um, there will be a launch of a new hero for Halloween. I think, yeah, Martin, I think there's going to be potentially two heroes launched for Halloween, especially on Facebook, because there are just not enough undead heroes right now. And I think Halloween is the time that they need to basically drop those undead heroes. Halloween is a spooky season. It's all about, these like ghouls and specters and skeletons. I think it's the perfect time for them to basically have undead heroes drop. So I do think they're going to have two new heroes coming in so that they can have five undead heroes. It's crazy that they don't already have five undead heroes, but I think that the play here is they're going to add two more during the Halloween event and potentially also some new skins. I think it would be pretty cool if they did that. So, Martin, that's my hot take. Um, yeah. So I hope that basically clears that up. Are there any other questions that you guys have right now? I mean, if not, then I will probably be just finishing up this complete 3 heroic missions real quick. I actually really love Helios, and Helios is kind of like my next target as well to Absolute Star, but it's also kind of energy. It sucks up a lot of energy, so I am hesitant to always use 60 energy on him, but I will use it on Fox. Peppy, actually. Peppy, I think, is the move And I am just simply going to auto clear Treasure Island. So we're going to raid 3 times. And I got 2 Peppy Soul Stones. Not bad. That's better than the 1 that you normally get. So I'm not complaining. Do I think Morgan and Corvus will get their second skins for Halloween? I think it's a little early. I could see them doing it, but I still think it's a little early and premature for them to drop Corvus and Morgan skins. I think the earliest we will see a skin for Corvus and Morgan will be Winterfest. Winterfest, they usually drop about, I think, I want to say in the range of 4 to 8 skins. I'd have to double check. I do have some Winterfest videos for you guys, but yeah, I think it would be too soon for the new skins to be dropped. But I do think, I don't think there'll be a rework either. I think it's too early. But yeah, I do have. Let me go to my channel real quick. So if I go to YouTube and let me go ahead and get there real quick. So if I go to my channel and we go to playlists, which I'm going to clean this up a little bit, but I know, so here's the Winterfest playlist. I would say check that out if you have time. That will basically, I think it has a lot of the information that I gathered for Winterfest. Probably could have gathered more, but that's what I'm going to say in terms of checking out Winterfest. I just think a lot of the things are explained in there, and you can, I think I go through most of the skins also. I guess I'd have to check it out. But I would recommend checking this out. The things to note are of course, there's going to be a Winterfest hidden event, but the Winterfest presence was something that's really cool. I also, yeah, they had new skins. Where is the Winterfest letter to Winter Claus? If you haven't been involved in a Winterfest, that's a video I say you have to watch. Because there's some cool items, and I think I explain why you should focus on at least trying to get the totem. But I would say check that out. Hopefully they have that again this year. But Winterfest was absolutely crazy last year. That's something that I would recommend checking out. But yeah, so hopefully that's some stuff that you guys are able to basically look at. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. I think I'm going to end the live stream here pretty soon. Yeah, I agree with you, Peter. But I do think that they're going to introduce new characters. I know some players on the earlier servers are done with all their heroes. So I would not be surprised if they introduce some new characters just so that they could maybe, potentially have more options for them as well as something to focus on. But we'll see what happens. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. And yeah, Winterfest is a really great event. It also is a little bit, I will say it's a little bit more driven towards people who are paying players, so that's annoying. But there were some good aspects of it for free players as well. I was a free player still at that point. But yeah, the letter to Winter Claus, highly recommend you guys check that out. Thank you so much for being here with me, guys. It means the world, and I absolutely am looking forward to the Halloween event myself.